Hey, everyone, Andy All here. News you can use to fight fascism. This is the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. Look, I'm not going to tell you that I know the proper way to make the situation in Ukraine better. I'm not a foreign policy expert, though I play one on YouTube. That's a joke, everyone. It's okay to laugh. But I can say this, and I think all of you cool cats out there know this. Old, crazy men with funny hats, wearing funny hats, they are not going to help the situation. They're not going to help. And if anything, old evil men with funny hats just going to make the situation worse. Link to this story in the description below. Russian Patriarch says Orthodox faithful are holding back the Antichrist. That's right, everyone. This guy and his merry band of Orthodox Christians, they're holding back the Antichrist. I don't really understand, and this, maybe some of you agree with me on this, I don't understand his reasoning. If the Antichrist is going to bring about the end times, the rapture, the end of the world where Jesus Christ comes back, don't they want the Antichrist to come back here? Isn't their role, if anything, is to help the Antichrist come back? I think that makes sense. But let's see what the Russian Patriarch is saying. London, this is from Reuters. The head of the Russian Orthodox faith was quoted as saying on Thursday that his church and its faithful were holding back the Antichrist dramatic music. Please, bum, bum, bum. Patriarch Kirill was speaking 6 weeks into Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which has forced over 4 million people to flee, killed, injured thousands, and left cities and towns destroyed. And Kirill, he's a big fan of Vladimir Putin's, of course. He is balls into this whole invasion of Ukraine. He loves it. He supports it. While he was not quoted specifically referring to Ukraine, Kirill's comments backed the Kremlin line on the war by implying that Russia's actions there were a forced response to a foreign aggressor. Why did external forces rise up against Russian lands? Why do they strive to destroy, divide, set brother against brother? Kirill was noted by Russia's RIA news agency as saying, the only external power arrayed against Russia is democracy. And that's it. It's important to point out that if the Russian Federation was a normal functional democracy, they would be part of NATO. They would be part of the collective security arrangement for Europe. So the only external force that the Russian government fears is democracy, realistically fears is democracy. Referring to a New Testament text in which intensifying conflict between good and evil culminates in the second coming of Christ, Kirill said the book of Revelation mentions a certain force that holds back the coming into the world of the Antichrist. Some thought it is the church that is holding this back, and that is correct. He was quoted on saying, I don't understand. I don't think there's trying to find consistency in theology is a fool's errand, right? It's a fool's task to try to find any kind of consistency between God is love, that concept, and the God that tortured Job. The church keeps people from losing their bearings in life. It is the Orthodox faith living and acting in the Orthodox Church. This is the force that holds back the Antichrist. Krill said there's no coincidence that this force today are armed all the sharp arrows at all those who seek to compromise the church, to divide and tear it from the people, according to RIA. He's against splitters, everyone. The reason why he doesn't support differing opinions within the church is because that would undermine his own power, because that's what evil old men with hats do. They care about themselves and they care about power. I'm going to check out the chat before going to the next show, to the next news story. John Hudson said, I killed the last person who said my hat was funny. Wow. You shouldn't be saying that, John Hudson. You know, the FBI could be listening right now. Theocracy is consistently inconsistent. When you think that religion and myth are basically the stuff, it's dream logic. That's what Carl Jung said, right? The Swiss psychologist. He said that the logic or the reasoning of myth, of religion, is the logic of dreams. So there's no real linear A elicits B elicits C type of logic in faith. What does holding back mean? Good question, imaginary God. What does holding back the Antichrist mean? Does that mean they're like holding him behind a door somewhere? I don't know. Maybe they put a very large sofa over that door in the floor, and maybe he's trying to rise up from the basement. I don't know. Big Zebra says, I held the Antichrist back myself the other day, laughing in disbelief. Wait your goddamn turn, I said. There we go. Well, what we do know is that religion poisons everything, or a lot of things at the very least, and it's definitely poisoning the conflict, making things worse, exacerbating the conflict in Ukraine right now. Speaking of, I guess this is just an all Ukraine show today. NATO says Finland, Sweden, welcome to join. All right. For those of you who don't know your maps, here's some basic cartography 101. You have Finland there in the dark green. Sweden is directly to the left of it. It looks like that big flaccid male phallus right there. Those two countries have been traditionally not allied with NATO, not part of NATO. They're part of the EU. That's what the light green portion of the map shows. Yes, Britain, we're looking at you. We know that you're not part of the EU. Silliness there. But those two countries, because they are so afraid of what's going on in Ukraine and realize that Vladimir Putin might just be crazy, they are banging at the door of NATO. Link in the description below. A poll last month by Finnish broadcaster YLE showed that for the first time, more than 50% of Finns support joining the Western Military Alliance. In neighboring Sweden, a similar post showed that those in favor of NATO membership outnumber those against. If they decide to apply, I expect that all allies will welcome them. This is Jens Stoltenberg, who is the director of NATO, told reporters in Brussels as NATO foreign ministers met to discuss the war in Ukraine. We know that they can easily join this alliance if they decide to apply. I think it's a bad idea that they're talking publicly about it. There should just be an announcement. Guess what? Sweden and Finland are now part of NATO. They're now part of, they enjoy Article 5 protection. And Article 5 protection is, of course, any attack against one member of NATO is considered an attack against all. I think that would probably be the best idea, that just one day Vladimir Putin wakes up and he realizes that that Finland and Sweden are now officially part of NATO. The longer these discussions go on, the worse the situation could potentially be. It gives Putin more time to act in response. Before launching the war in Ukraine, President Vladimir Putin demanded that the 30-nation military organization stop expanding and pull its troops back from Russia's borders. So the prospect of neighboring Finland and Sweden joining is unlikely to be welcomed in Moscow. To shield them, Stoltenberg said NATO member countries might be prepared to provide a security guarantee to cover the two neutral nations from when they announce a possible membership bid until their applications are endorsed. Yep, probably you would just want to put NATO troops on those two countries as soon as the application process has started. Other NATO, armies there or troops, that's pretty much the line. If troops from the United States of America are on your territory, like they are in the Baltic countries, the chances that Russia is going to invade them is dramatically lower. NATO is having a Black Friday sale. That's right, Big Zebra. That's right. Okay, so that's the show. We're doing the after show at 9:15 in less than 4 minutes. The link to be on the panel is in the description below. We can talk about anything you want to. Hey, no ads on this channel, right? No ads on the show. So thank you, YouTube members. Thank you, patrons. And hey, let's say that you're a pro-Russian fascist. In other words, you probably voted for Matt Gaetz or voted for, Donald Trump at one point. Then you can become a member at $20 a month and you can tell me why I'm wrong. We can do a video conference call for 30 minutes. That's only $20. What a bargain that is, right? For me to tell you why you're wrong. All right, everyone. I'll see you. And the link to my Patreon account is down below. And so that would be fun, right? I'm going to drop a thank you video and a cat video because this is the Disappointed Cat Morning Show. And I hope to see you at 9:15. If not, I'll see you on Monday, same crazy time, doing the same crazy thing. Take care.
Some things about me you should know. I'm always tired regardless of how much sleep I've gotten. I'm always at like a 6 in terms of how annoyed I am. My hobbies include 1, laying down, end of list.